If you wake up tired after 7 to 8 hours of sleep, it is not because your body didn't recover. It is because your brain never switched into recovery mode. And that happens when your dopamine levels stay elevated into the night. Your mind is technically offline, but your brain remains active, processing unresolved stimulation. Meaning you wake up with a brain that is tired rather than reset. So today, in this video, I'm going to show you how that mechanism actually works and how you can reset it in a way so that your brain starts to feel rested again. So let's first define the problem, because that is where most people misunderstand. Your brain literally exists of two separate functions. The first one is the stimulation mode. The stimulation mode is constantly looking for some things. So it wants convenience, it wants novelty, it wants scrolling, it wants predictions, it wants reactions. So in your mind it might feel like nothing is happening, but there's actually a lot happening. And the second part of your brain is the recovery mode. The recovery mode actually enables the process of emotional tension. It also removes cognitive band load. And it takes care of neutral consolidation. You're probably wondering, what does neutral consolidation mean? To clarify and to simplify this question, you need to narrow it down to a simple thing where your brain is asking yourself, is this specific information that I receive, is it worth storing for later? Either yes or no. That is what neutral consolidation means. Now, your sleep only activates when your brain has managed to go into that recovery mode. So it needs you for the baseline of your dopamine spikes, of that attention seeking. So it needs you to calm down the stimulation mode, so it can actually go into recovery mode. And the most important part to remember that if dopamine stays elevated into your brain right before sleep, your brain never actually has the chance to switch into that recovery mode. And that is exactly why you feel tired after 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So let's dive into why this happens. Let me give you some examples of things that trigger the cycle of dopamine unintentionally. One of them is watching videos at night, watching bright screens in the evening, going into emotional talks with your partner, switching tasks continuously, sticking with what happened during the day, so you keep thinking about it. So it starts wondering what tasks are not completed yet. So you go to sleep without being decompressed mentally. Because dopamine does not disappear as soon as you close your eyes. It lingers in your brain. And the dopamine will keep certain loops active from during the day. It will start to ask yourself, what will they think of that message that I sent? Why did he say that specific thing to me? Did I reply properly? What do I need to do tomorrow? Those are all thoughts that you can have within your brain. If your dopamine doesn't reset, you'll keep thinking about it. And you will be unable to go into that recovery mode. So your body will be resting at night, but your brain is still working. And that's what we need to prevent. So let's define the real mechanism. It is scientifically proven that the moment your brain resets its dopamine baseline, it is able to enter your deep sleep memory processing, your emotional recovery, and it will help you reset your neutral cycles. And until that happens, you will stay in cognitive standby. Think of it like closing a laptop. With still many programs being open. It looks like it's off, but it's actually not off. It's still working. So let me give you a simple reset ritual. And in my videos, I often talk about 1 hour before bed. No more screens, no more phones, no more lights, and just relax and read and that sort of things. I understand that that is long, and that's why I also help you to define a much shorter technique. I name it the mental reboot window. So do this just before you go to sleep. So step number 1 is to remove stimulation before bed. That means no screens, no scrolling, no information, but just nothing. Think or sit by yourself with your eyes closed and just imagine what will happen. Then step number 2, let the boredom come, because boredom actually means that your dopamine is being reset into the recovery mode. So it is not discomfort, it is mental detox. And there is actually a great book about this as well. It is called Dopamine Detox. So if you haven't read it yet, pick it up, because it is well worth your money and time. It takes less than an hour to read. It's really small, but you will love it. And step number 3, allow the craving to drop, because at some point within those time you will actually feel that your brain is letting go of all the stimulation that it's looking for. It will feel like your brain is lowering the volume, and then you know your body is switching into those modes, and you know that you are able to go into sleep. Because it is exactly the moment that your brain is going into recovery mode. At that point, you will know. You must let the mind be offline before sleep starts. Otherwise, the brain simply wakes up depleted, and that is what we're trying to prevent. So let's tie this in emotionally. It is not laziness, it is not boredom, it is not a lack of discipline, it is not a burnout. It simply means that your brain didn't get enough rest for you to be able to switch into that recovery mode, to be able to switch into that mode that you need to be able to sleep properly. And your sleep at that moment, after doing those exercises for yourself, it will become restorative. And realizing that will hit deep within you. So get started and try it today. And when your brain resets, you will start to notice instantly. You will wake up a lot lighter. You will feel a lot mentally heavy in the morning. Mornings will start to feel overwhelming. And you will realize that you will not need willpower in order to get started or to keep going. Willpower is not needed when you realize that your body gets so much energy, you will want to do it yourself. It is not willpower, it is going to give your body the strength to continue. So if you liked this sort of content, I post weekly videos here on the channel about topics you will help yourself find clarity, build confidence and gain momentum. With the right mindset, you can do anything that you want. You can do anything that you desire. So if you want to stay in touch, hit that subscribe button down below. And I've also created the Clarity and Momentum Starter Guide for you to get started, to make something of your life. I will help you where that is needed. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.